good, the bad, and the odd. Just when you think you're out, they pull you back in.
Welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Odd with your hosts, Mark and Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hello there.
So we're doing a film. This is a bit out of our rotation, our usual sort of 4-weekly rotation. There was a film you particularly wanted to talk about, and I was happy I managed to catch it. I wasn't sure I would be able to, but I did manage to catch it, and you've seen it fresh today as well.
Yeah, I watched it as close to the podcast as I can make it.
Good idea, because you do forget things. It's just that we do so many films now. So it's Creed 3. I'm pretty sure we covered. I know we covered 2, and I assume.
Yeah, we've covered the entire Rocky franchise so far.
Yeah. Okay, so Creed 3, first one where Rocky isn't in it.
Yeah, apparently he's had a bit of a dispute with the one of the producers. What's his name? Erwin Winkler.
Oh, really? I understood he just felt like it was a bit too dark for him. What was going on was a bit dark for the character, so he just decided to not be in it. And it was kind of interesting.
But also, the last one kind of ended with the implication. I can see, from that last one, that Rocky is no longer.
Yeah, they don't
in Creed's life, really.
They don't really talk about Rocky at all, do they?
No, they mentioned him a couple of times, but
I missed that. I missed that then. Okay. So interesting film. What were your general thoughts?
I really liked it. I liked how much it was more of Adonis's own film rather than about the legacy of his father.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also agree this is. While I feel like the Rocky universe kind of ended with Creed 2, this is the Creed verse now, right? And I quite like that. I quite like, because although it's a weird overlap, because obviously Creed and Creed 2 were Rocky films, but this is a Creed film for isn't it? Yes. What did it remind you of any of the other previous films?
This was okay. So this was like a mashup of Rocky 2 and Rocky 3 and 4.
Do you feel so?
Yeah. So we had this big sort of up and comer who kind of savages a companion of our main character.
Yeah.
And in the end, they do a big title fight where it's a lot more personal than everyone else around it seems to think. So
yeah, it definitely is. I felt it was spiritually more like Rocky 5, actually. But if Rocky 5 was actually a good film, because it's all about antagonism between a protege almost, or I know he's not a protege, but he's an equal, perhaps, to Adonis, right? And the antagonism between them. Whereas I thought Creed 2 was way more Rocky 3 and 4. In many respects, but it was all right. But like I say, it feels like it's almost a slight nod to Rocky 5, but Rocky 5 as if good film, done well, done like a proper film, rather than I don't know what went wrong, but something clearly went wrong with Rocky 5. So I think. The next one, if there's another one, Creed 4, that they might just not call it Rocky Universe anymore. I think it should.
Well, I think they'll do it in an MCU sort of style.
Yeah,
it's like they're in the same universe, but we're not really going to talk about that. The rest of it.
Interesting. Directed it as well. Michael Jordan directed this too, didn't he?
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting. Where would you just not the whole Rocky franchise, but where'd you put this? In terms of Creed 1 and 2, where would you rank it?
I would rank this above Creed 1, but below Creed 2.
I also rank it below Creed 2. I feel like this is on a par with Creed 1. There were some really good elements in Creed 1 too. They were possibly a bit overstretched. The one thing I liked about this film is it was leaner. It was leaner than Creed 1 and Creed 2.
It didn't feel like like an hour and 40 minutes?
No.
It didn't feel that long.
It shot by. I'm sure the other ones were over 2 hours each as well. You know,
it's just shy of 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, it flies by. It flies by, really. And there's some quite touching moments in it too. All right, let's get into the plot a bit more. So essentially, it's about it starts with a flashback. I did not understand. Obviously, it becomes clear, but it's like, what's this about? It's a young
Donnie and one of his friends
called Dame.
Damian Anderson, Diamond Dame, who's a bit of an underground boxer.
Yeah, he's older than Donnie.
Yeah, he's a couple of years older.
And they are quite young, so the difference does show quite a bit, in terms of one's couple of years older than the other.
Yeah, I think Donnie's supposed to be 15 at this point, and Dame is supposed to be 18.
Okay, there you go. So Dame has a fight, and they're talking about, one day I'll be a pro and a world champ and all this kind of thing. But they go to a liquor store, and a guy walks by, and I think is it Adam? His name?
Leon. They walk by, and Donnie just recognises him as Leon.
And they say,
and then just starts beating him. Viciously beating him.
And we don't see any more to that. We
cut away.
We cut away. So it just has no context. And then we see Adonis is having a rematch against Ricky Conlon.
Yeah, from the first film.
From the first movie.
Yeah.
And he wins, doesn't he? He wins, but that's when he retires because his
that's
daughter,
his last fight. He's got a daughter now. He can't keep doing this.
Yeah, and his daughter is a lot older. She's deaf, profoundly deaf.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of sign language in this film.
I'd say about a third of the dialogue was sign language, which was really cool to see.
Yeah, it was cool to see.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting, and I like things where TV shows or movies do things which are inclusive. I think it's a really positive thing in this world. I know a lot of people whine about it, but Christ, give people a break. And I think that this sort of thing makes it all. It normalise, instead of being, I don't really understand what's going on there, so I don't like to think about it, but it gives you a chance to see, people are people. People are just like us, because they've got some issue or other. They're essentially, people still. So I really like that. So he runs, and then we see him retire, but then it sets a few years later again.
Yeah, it jumps 3 years further. It's now set in 2020. Apparently, so Donnie's now running the old boxing gym that he used to work at. He used to train at with Little Duke. Yeah, and he's got an up and coming champion.
Yeah, Chavez.
Felix Chavez. Yeah, and then they do show that Victor Drago from the last movie is going to be the one to fight him for the title.
Yeah,
so it's like, okay, we got our setup here.
Yeah,
we do a bit of Creed's family, so we see Bianca again.
Yeah,
still performed very well by Tessa Thompson.
So Thompson's really good in this role, isn't she? Yeah,
she's really good. And then we got his daughter. What was her name?
Amara. She's about 8. Would you say something like that?
8 or something like that.
But she's of his behaviours are precipitating her school stuff, which we'll talk about a bit. And also,
she starts to get picked on, but she immediately just nails the bully in the face with like a punch.
Yeah, man, that's a good punch too. Yes.
Yeah, it's like they do this whole thing of the bully like picks up this picture she's drawing and rips it in half, and then like you get perspective from the bully. She's dropping the paper, and the punch just kind of comes through.
Yes, very nicely done. They get called into the school about it and stuff.
Something I've got to mention right now. Some of this film is based off anime. Like a lot of the framing, a lot of the like characters, the sort of acknowledgement of characters' skills is very anime based. Including the first fight with Ricky Conlon, which you get a few almost like Sherlock,
Sherlock
Holmes? His name? Yeah, the Sherlock Holmes like freeze frame fights where he figures stuff out. You get like moments of that where it's like he dodges, and you get a moment's pause of him, and a zoom in of Ricky Conlon's like side.
Yeah, he's basically left his side exposed, and Donnie realises how he can exploit that. Right, that's what we're talking about, which all pro boxers will do. Right, if you got
I have no doubt.
So that was kind of interesting, and also his stepmother or his adopted mother. Is also her health which is Felicia Rashad, which kind of interesting role for her. Now, I just want to talk about her boyfriend. I know her from The Cosby Show, which is a bit unfortunate, but she's a good actress. It's good to see her in stuff, and we don't see that much of her in stuff, so it's always good to see her. So, yeah, and we find out Amara wants to be a boxer, like Donnie, doesn't she? And she's secretly watching some of his fights on a little tablet, isn't she?
In the same way that he did with Apollo back in
yes,
It's just a nice little
it was cool. Then he bumps into Dame, who's now out of jail.
He's now out of prison, and he's looking for a shot at the title because that was his original aspiration.
Yeah, so Donnie kind of. It's good to see him, but it's a bit uneasy because there's like this history between them, which we are still not quite privy to.
We do not get much about their backstory until very close to the end of the film.
I mean, I kind of got the vibe, and I should say, this is a new film. We're going to do spoilers, right? Yeah. We are going to do spoilers. So I think the spoilers probably start now, right?
Yeah.
So you'll be warned. I think I kind of got almost straight away that, so Dave's been in prison because of whatever happened, the outcome of that beating. Yeah. There's something going on there. So I kind of felt there was a guilt or feeling a responsibility for what happened to Dame in some way. So he invites him to the gym to spar with Chavez, but he keeps putting in, dirty punches and things, doesn't he?
Yeah, they end up chucking him out of the ring because he's just basically misbehaving.
And little dude goes nuts, goes absolutely bananas.
It's like, I can't trust this guy. So.
Yeah, cheap shots and all sorts, right? Going on. But then Donnie invites Dame to his house and have a very nice evening, and he kind of mentions they were in a group home.
They do that at a party. Like after Donnie ends up having to turn down his. He asked him, "It's like, can you set up a title shot for me? I want a challenge." And he's like, "I can't do that. There's no." That's not how it works.
And he goes, but you had that shot, Of course, Rocky originally had that shot too.
Rocky had it. So then later when they're at this party for Bianca's new record, I believe it is.
Yeah.
She learns a bit about who Leon is. She learns his name. And someone just attacks Drago, who, like I say, was set up for a fight with Chavez.
Yeah.
And it breaks his hand.
Yeah. And they got a picture of the guy that did it, right? So they kind of know who did the attack, but that's kind of weird. So then Donnie's like, well, we've invested loads in this fight. We've got to have a fight. So they're kind of going through the different opponents. No, he's still recovering from a fight. No, he can't do it. And then he comes up with, well, how about Dame? It'd be like an underdog fight. It'd be like...
The people love this.
So there's a history. And Chavez is happy because he's got a grudge against Dame for his sparring, right? But then there's a fight. And
they do the fight. And Dame takes him apart.
Yeah. He's a monster. He's very...
it's Clubber Lang.
He's very much Clubber Lang. And apparently that was in the mix in some of the ideas for this film, that it was the son of Clubber Lang. They didn't go with that.
Yeah, I think two films in a row where we do, this is the son of the previous Rocky fighter would have been a bit much.
Yeah.
But,
basically, again, he kind of he elbows the guy in a passing punch, for example, things like that, right? And he gets a warning, but he doesn't care. He does not care. So he becomes
busts the guy up completely. So, he's got this huge, just open wound on his chest by the end of it.
So I imagine. So I didn't realise this. So Chavez is world champion, right? I didn't realise that. I thought it was a contender, but it was a world champion. So now Dame is the world champion.
Yeah, because it was a title bout.
Yeah, so then Dame starts bad-mouthing him, doesn't he? So, you can't try, he starts just saying bad stuff about him. I don't know why he does that. He doesn't really need to. He's got his title. I don't know if it's just for publicity, but there we go. That was a little weak, I felt, in the scripting, because I wanted to see why.
It's just some bad sportsmanship. But we do get a bit of an explanation later when... basically there's a bit of back and forth with Apollo Creed's wife, Marianne, and Adonis, where he finds out that she was hiding messages from Dame to him while Dame was in prison, including a picture of Dame with his new friends, one of which he knows. He recognizes as the guy who attacked Victor.
Creed. Drago, yes. So he realises Dame has set all this up. And I guess slinging mud is the way you can stop mud being slung at you first, right? So there might be some of that. So we find that Marianne, Felicia Rashad, was hiding stuff from because he just thought he was a bad influence. Okay.
Yeah.
So when Donnie goes to see him in like the hood kind of thing, there's exploding guns and everything.
It's like a beach party, but there's
is it?
His crew around it.
Okay.
And
he just punches Adonis, doesn't he? And gives him a black eye. And then when he gets home, Bianca's like, well, what's going on? And he doesn't want to say. Essentially, what we find is Dame took the hit for the beating of Leon, didn't he? And got sent to prison for this amount of time? Is that? Yeah. That seems like an excessive amount of time.
They do state that he got a few more years put on him.
Yeah. So, he was a bad prisoner then, so he just kept getting on.
But now he's out.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Marianne has another stroke and starts to die. But there's a really cool, quite heartfelt scene where she's a bit out of it. And
she thinks he's Apollo.
She thinks he's Apollo, but she's saying, "Why did you leave me, Apollo?" And I think she's talking about when he died. I think. Yeah. He goes, at least you left me Adonis. At least he kept me going and all this. And it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So then Donnie tells Bianca.
He goes on air and he's like, okay, so let's set this record straight on this guy. Dame calls in before he can actually get any explanation out and starts bad-mouthing him, which drives him just like, okay, I'm going to fight you. Like, okay.
Yeah. But we also find out that, the whole thing about Leon was he was an abuser, right? He
abused them at their group home.
Yeah.
This was like
when they were boys.
When they were young children, which does line up with what we saw in the very first Creed.
Yes.
Where like young Donnie was like, "You're not going to take me to another home," and he was like fists clenched.
Yeah.
Lined up.
Yeah, it definitely made sense. It felt coherent, very coherent. So, and I think that might have been the aspect that Stallone, if there was a reason, may have sort of, I'm not sure I want to be involved in that kind of thing. But yeah. So we get the requisite training montage. Yeah, and basically Dame's not shutting his gob, so his gob's got to be shut for him, right? But we do get a thing of they're both in the montage. They're both doing the same training. Yes, that's kind of interesting, right? I did really like this because we don't really get the sort of contrast of like the Rocky IV training montages, where it's like Rocky in the snow, Drago's running around in a lab, or like any of the previous Creed ones. Yeah, where if you think about like first Rocky, we'd see Apollo playing up to the cameras while training, while Rocky was just sweaty old Jim, right, doing stuff. So Rocky 2... Rocky 2, kind of the same thing. Yeah. Rocky 3, the dead opposite. Yeah. Here's Rocky's kind of camping it up and doing publicity stuff rather than actually training. Yeah, while Clubber Lang is going to town on his training. And then we get the hardest training he's ever done, where he has to get fast, and then... 4 is obvious with its many, many montages. 4 montages, they're all awesome. Where Drago's doing all the scientific stuff, getting injected with stuff, while Rocky's running in the snow and picking up logs and shit and cutting wood. So there's always cool montages, though. I do think there's one of the Creed ones which is a bit silly. There is a one where it just one with tires that just seems like that. I think that's the 2-1 where he has to learn to like properly be in the guy's defense. So keeping inside like, okay, we're putting this tire here. You both got to put your forward foot into it. Now you're boxing. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
This is a much more traditional boxing montage. And I have to say, you'd already mentioned it, but I really liked how they shot some of the final fight as well, actually. It was kind of cool.
There's a lot of very close up on people's faces sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I liked that they got everyone around Donnie involved, except Rocky, obviously. But so they pulled in Victor to spar against him.
Yeah.
And then it's there's a bit where you think no, he's not going to manage it, and he takes off the training helmet.
Yeah.
And Victor's just looking at him and just wordlessly takes off his own, and then they start going back at it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I quite like that. I like that there's a friendship between these two.
Yeah, I liked it too. I like that too. I also like the framing of the fight. They use some really good slow-mo in some of these. And I have to say, the biggest ooh for me was when they did the slow-mo of Chavez getting punched.
Punched in his shoulder.
That's so grim. Oh yeah, I forgot he kept concentrating on his shoulder and punching him under the arm to.
It was a weird sort of inversion of Rocky's chop down the tree thing with Drago. Yeah, it's you got to work the middle because he'll fall.
Yeah,
so you work the top because nothing's working after that.
Nothing's working once you've dislocated or basically made that shoulder useless. Yeah, I have to say also some of the framing, you mentioned it was nods to anime, and it certainly that's acknowledged. Michael Jordan
specifically,
said
he said, I can send you some frames that are the shots from anime that he's copying.
Yeah. They're exact copies, aren't they? And he says he was influenced by Megalobox, Naruto, Hajime no Ippo, and Dragon Ball Z.
Hajime no Ippo is a famous boxing manga. And Dragon Ball Z is just the fighting anime.
I have to say also some of the shots and the way they framed it. There was one point they framed the ring almost in black and white and you couldn't see the crowd.
Yeah, that was
just
cool.
The two men.
It was stuff that you couldn't do back in the Rocky days that I think they would have done.
Well, actually, you say that. I actually that reminded me very strongly that little section of how they shot some of the fights in Raging Bull, which was 1980. We've never done Raging Bull. It's a really interesting boxing film about basically toxic masculinity. This bloke's so aggressive that it pollutes his entire life and brings him down. It's a true story. It was based on a true story. It was Jake LaMotta was the boxer. An interesting story. And if you see it sometime, you'll say, okay, that looks like certain scenes in Creed 3.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I've never seen that influence in any of the other Rocky films. So it's kind of interesting to see it this time. And it may possibly be that Raging Bull influenced anime, because that's how this thing sometimes works, isn't it?
True. A lot of anime is based on the Disney. The style.
I mean, I'm thinking specifically of Hajime no Ippo may have been influenced by Raging Bull. I don't know. Okay. I'm guessing, but
but specifically, Creed and Dane punched each other in the face at the same time.
Yes.
Felt Michael B. Jordan has been specifically, that's this frame from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
So,
and indeed that kind of happens at the end of Rocky 3 when Apollo and Rocky are
they do the
freeze frame, and they're doing exactly that too, right? So
but there's also probably the closest you can get into a real world terms of it's a thing in anime where you punch someone and the imprint of your hand comes out the back or something like that.
Yeah.
Where Creed just gets nailed in the stomach and all the sweat on his back just flies off.
Yeah. I mean, one thing they couldn't have influenced would be One Punch Man, right? Because by definition, that's it. One punch and it's all over. That wouldn't work. So that's
kind of Clubber Lang's old strategy.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I quite like this. I can't quite see where the franchise goes after this because
I think they might do not necessarily like Rocky 5 in full, but a post-boxing career.
Yes, that would certainly work. But in the end, he needs to get in the ring again. He would need again get in the ring. So it's kind of tricky.
Or it could be not necessarily again, not necessarily entirely like it, but $1 Million Baby, where it's like the old boxer's training the young girl.
Yeah, $1 Million Baby.
That without the horrifying ending. So
yeah. Or Karate Kid, or there's all sorts of templates for that sort of thing.
I was thinking specifically boxing, but yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, let's. What would you? Okay, so we've already discussed where we put it in the list with the other Creed movies. We've both done that. What would you score this?
I would score this an easy 9.
9.
I'm not sure to put it to 10 because I think I may have actually put Creed 2 back in the day on like an 8 or something. I put that as a 9 now. I rewatched them both for.
Oh, did you?
I did appreciate. I think I appreciated this film more because I recognised the weird little like mutterings that Creed would do, like in the ring, where it's little like one punch, one round, one step at a time.
Yeah.
It's like just he's muttering Rocky's old sayings to himself.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of cool.
Yeah. And of course, Creed got his he got his Rocky victory music. Finally landed him down. It's like
so good, that music, right? So good.
Oh yes.
I have to say, watching all this made me think. You know what? I think I might watch the Rocky franchise again sometime.
Yeah, I might have to do it
because let's have it. Apart from 5, every film is pretty golden in its own way. There's just something great about all of them.
I was actually on sort of like on a night out. Well, coming back from a night out with friends, I was just sort of talking about it, and they're like, "You really like the Rocky franchise? Like, I don't think I've ever heard you talk about it before." I was like, "Yeah, I do. It's like the modern myth." Like,
I mean, the Faces of Rocky, right? Yeah. For me, is 1 and 2 is like a proper sweaty drama of aspirational drama of the underdog, but they're dramas. They're set in a real world. 3, to me, is Perseus going to meet the Gorgon. Right, that's how I think of it. Right, and that that first bit of him doing the Gorgon is just the setup before he goes to the real big one, and then I see Rocky fought as Perseus and the Kraken. That's how I feel it is. He has to do 3 to be able to do 4 to be able to fight that mad Russian, and then 5 just falls off. But then 6 is just a fantastic. What's an old guy going to do?
Yeah, that actually precipitated it, because I was like, this is probably one of the best like summations of a plot ever, where it's just Duke going like okay, so you challenge this guy. I'm not going to teach you anything new about boxing. We've already done that. You know all of this.
Yeah.
We can't do...
your reflexes are gone, your speed's gone.
Shot, so we can't do sparring. Your joints, you got calcium in your joints, so we can't do long distance running. It's like he just goes through this sort of like big summation. It's like, what we do have is good old American horsepower. We're going to train you to punch like nothing else. And this is coming from the guy who, when Apollo Creed tried to challenge Rocky again, specifically referred to Rocky as like taking punches that no one else could have took and just coming back. So it's like this guy knows how hard someone can get hit. So he knows how hard he needs to get Rocky hitting.
Rocky Balboa was a great film in my opinion. But Creed 1, 2, and 3 have all got some really good stuff as well. And just the whole apart from 5, the whole franchises are very, very, very.
Five has exactly franchise. One mention since it happened, which is Rocky sort of chuckle. Back in Creed 1, he's like, I want you to train me. And Rocky's like, don't do that anymore. Nope.
That doesn't work out
not
well.
Not touching that.
Fair enough. So again, I think we did this proper, didn't we? We did
a full Rocky franchise.
So this will have to go on that list and so on. Okay, cool. So next time we will be recording, it'll probably be Hammer. Back to the old Hammer again. I think it's another
Dracula.
We got another Dracula, So we'll be doing that. But otherwise, this was kind of a one-off. But you specifically,
it's just because it like lined up right. Like, I've just watched some of the Creed films. Pardon me. I've just watched some of the Creed films. Creed 3's coming out. We've done all of the Rocky franchise movies already.
Yeah.
Let's sum it up. Let's add another one on. Same thing I'd do if they released like a mainline Godzilla or for some reason another Universal monster movie. It's like let's do that.
Yeah,
So.
It's weird though, because I'm finding that modern cinema, there's really not that much that interests me. But when it does, it does. And Creed 3 is one of them. And the last two to do this, I think, for me, were probably Top Gun Maverick and Everything Everywhere All at Once. But maybe Bullet Train, though I didn't get to see that at the cinema.
That was good in the cinema.
I can imagine that would be
actually,
best.
Admittedly, I saw it like midday on a weekday. But there was like 4 people in that screening, and it was the biggest screen at the place. So
yeah, amazing.
It was kind of funny because I was like, oh, I can actually like sort of relax a bit. I could stretch out,
sit where I like.
Because normally I'm a fairly big guy. I kind of like have to pull in a bit so that I'm not taking over the handholds.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, I could stretch out.
I still remember the time we went to see Abraham Lincoln's Vampire Hunter, and it was literally just you and me in a big screen as well, in a big screen. Yeah. So we just chatted, didn't we? Because we weren't disturbing anyone while we were watching it. It was good fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny when you get a big screen like that and it's just you. It's amazing. Anyway, all right, let's went out there. So we both really like this. Oh, I didn't score, did I?
You didn't. What's your
I would give this. I didn't love it as much as you. I don't think even close. I think it's a sort of high. No, I'll say an 8. I was going to say high 7. But I'll give it an 8. I think it's on a par with Creed 1, but I think Creed 2 is the best of the 3 so far. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with all 3 of them. They're all pretty solid films, in my opinion. So, okay, let's wind up there.
It's wild how, like, in this franchise, there's only one bad film. Like, this is now an 9 movie franchise. I don't think any other franchise has that many movies without a bad one. Like, in terms of percentage.
Yeah. There's not many 9 movie franchises though, aren't there? Either. I mean,
it's like
Trek,
MCU, Star Trek, the big sci-fi stuff.
Yeah,
Star Wars. There's a lot to talk.
I mean, MCU have had a solid. I mean, not lately,
no.
but up until Endgame, they were almost everything was pretty good, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of really boring ones. So.
Yeah, do you think? Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, maybe. But I think after Endgame apart from Spider-Man, they've all been kind of weak. I mean, Doctor Strange was okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just not interested. I'm much more interested in the Marvel TV, if anything.
Yeah.
So
looking forward to Loki season 2.
Yeah, Loki was good. Yeah, Loki was good. The only one I really couldn't get on with is Moon Knight. I just didn't.
Moon Knight. Oh, you didn't like Moon Knight?
I couldn't get on with it.
I loved it. It was so weird.
It was weird. There is that. But Loki was weird, but I like Loki way better. Anyway, we're really diverging it. Okay, so let's wind up there. So bye from me.
Bye.